Good afternoon. My name is Sophie Wakonyuspi. I live in Tallahassee. I am a scientist turned educator, a mother, and a partner in training in the Partner in Policymaking program to advocate for a way to help persons with disabilities find lasting, meaningful employment, and we're grateful for the opportunity to present our case to you. In 1992, something important happened concerning the employment of persons with disabilities. People realized that over the previous 10 years or so, tens of thousands of people who had been deemed unemployable, the lingo is not feasible for employment, had started working, thanks to the emergence of person-centered planning, job carving, and supported employment in general. These results discredited the vocational assessments based on standardized testing that vocational rehabilitation counselors used to determine employability before offering services. And it prompted Congress to drop the feasibility determination when it reauthorized the Rehabilitation Act. You would think that vocational rehab therefore stopped using their vocational assessments and moved instead to qualitative person-centered planning using models such as Discovery. Such model explores the lives of persons with disabilities to uncover their strengths and challenges, their interests, preferences, and accommodation needs. It provides a vocational profile that can be used to design a job that matches the person's skills and interests, leading to lasting, meaningful employment. Fast forward 25 years. In May 2015, my daughter, then 19, started her VR journey. And the first thing VR, vocational rehab, did for her after the intake interview was administer a vocational assessment. Test her using standardized modules that nicely showcased her limitations and did nothing to reveal her talents and interests. Based on that assessment, my daughter, who is a nature girl with a special interest in springs and sinkholes, and who shows aptitudes for working as an assistant to a field hydrogeologist someday, was told she would probably do well folding towels in a hotel, cleaning tables in a restaurant, or bagging groceries. When asked whether she would be interested in any such jobs, she politely answered no, cross it out. I am glad she has higher expectations.
My name is Lila Guthridge. I'm a mom, an advocate, and a partner in policymaking. I'm also a constituent. I live in Jacksonville, Florida, in Duval County. I have 6 children, and I want them all to have full and happy lives. Killian, age 10, will need a little help. Citizenship rights, independence, self-determination, lifelong participation in the community. Young adults with disabilities benefit from being employed in our community, and our communities benefit from the inclusion of people with disabilities. We are here today to demonstrate that person-centered transition services help young adults with disabilities to achieve satisfying jobs and have full and meaningful lives. Customized methods like Discovery identify individuals' skills, interests, and needs through interviews, conversations, and observations. Only 26% of young people with severe disabilities nationally were working for pay in the first 2 years after leaving high school. That means 3 out of 4 young adults were not working. Of those working, almost half of them held jobs in segregating settings, and with most of the other employees also having disabilities and earning fairly low wages. Young adults can do better. We can do better. Thank you.
Good day, I'm Juliette Hartel from Broward County, and I'm a Partners in Policymaking advocate and a mother of 3. Of my 3 children, my 12-year-old son has challenges in life, as we all do, but he needs a little more help than most of us. I hope that in 2 years, he is presented with an opportunity to explore his future and plan with a larger team than he currently has with my husband and I and a few professionals that we work with. I'm here to talk about the economic benefits to implementing person-centered planning during secondary school years. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These values are intrinsic to our society, and often people with disabilities are not allowed to seek and explore these values. What is life? The dictionary says life is the capacity for growth, reproduction, functional activity, and the continual change preceding death. Or perhaps a broader view could be an exploration of our interests with opportunities to succeed and or fail in our endeavors. What is liberty? Again, the dictionary states, the state of being free within our society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life, behavior, or political views. Synonyms are self-determination, civil liberties, and human rights. What is the pursuit of happiness? It is a quest, a dream of being happy, of finding meaning and satisfaction in life. Our Bill of Rights is inclusive. It provides the rights for all people to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. Our laws, the Individuals with Disability Education Act, aka IDEA, the American with Disabilities Act, ADA, and the Rehabilitation Act all support person-centered, self-directed inclusion models for people with disabilities. Yet our people with disabilities are often left behind despite the inclusiveness of our laws. Because we fail to implement the laws in a successful, meaningful, and economically savvy way. Implementing a comprehensive, self-directed planning model in secondary education provides young people with disabilities sustainable, meaningful employment at a lower cost to society as a whole. And in fact, provides economic benefits to society because these employed young people are paying taxes and have a reduction in government subsidies. Part of a successful person-centered model is to find meaningful, inclusive, paid employment during the secondary school years. That means providing individualized, work-based experiences throughout the last 3 years of high school. Extensive research has shown the economic benefits to society of developing supported work experiences that result from a person-centered plan. Research supports a greater return when starting the exploration by the age of 14. A study conducted by Robert Everett Kimura looked at 2 groups of supported employees. Those that had community-based transition experiences in high school versus those who only had in-school transition services. The study found that supported paid employees with community-based transition services had a 32.4% fewer costs and were employed 3.4 months longer than those who only had in-school transition services. The study also showed that young people in community-based employment in secondary school earned higher wages than those who only had in-school transition services. A study done by Hill and Weeman in Virginia concluded that for every dollar spent on supported employment, taxpayers got back 1.17 taxes paid, reduced costs by the government, and a decrease in alternative program costs. Others show for every dollar spent, you get $7 in return. Numerous studies show that people with disabilities who are instructed in self-directed methodologies have a greater results, lower costs to society because they have higher self-esteem, higher involvement in the wider community, and thus lower medical and mental health costs. Our laws provide for funding to various areas that support person-centered and supported employment during secondary school through IDEA, ADA, and the Rehabilitation Act, and states that create cross-agency partnerships to groups that are funded through these acts foster positive outcomes for people with disabilities, create supportive environments in their employment, living spaces, and society as a whole, while reducing the costs necessary to support people with disabilities. So I ask you to create a bill that provides specific direction to agencies involved in IDEA, ADA, and rehabilitation to combine and use their resources and provide self-determination, transition, and employment plans and supported employment to people with disabilities and to track the measurable outcomes of these services. I will end with a quote. Representative Charles Rangel, who recently retired after a 46-year career serving in the U.S. House of Representatives, said, "This country was founded upon the principle that we are all endowed with inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those rights are what make America great, and they belong to each and every one of us." Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon. I would first like to thank you for taking the time to hear from us today. I would also like to open up with a speech from Senator Bob Dole when speaking about disabilities. In his first speech on the U.S. Senate floor, Senator Bob Dole stated, "As a minority, it has always known exclusions, maybe not from day-to-day life itself, but perhaps from an adequate opportunity to develop and contribute to his and her fullest capacity." And I'd just like for you to hold on to that piece while I speak. The end. To develop and contribute to his and her fullest capacity. My name is Wanda Ivy. I'm from Flemingano, Florida, County of Clay. My daughter Jasmine is a 20-year-old aspiring jewelry and fashion designer. Unfortunately, she has not been provided much support throughout her high school years in her field of choice. Instead, she was placed into a self-contained class where there is little to no expectations of our children. I consistently ask at every IEP meeting that she be able to attend the Fashion Design Academy at our home school because she was bused to a servicing school 40 miles away from our home school due to the home school not having an ASD program. ASD being autism spectrum disorder. Constantly asked could she attend a Fashion Design Academy, and we were constantly told no by the school board, but never given a specific reason why. We branched out and used local resources at our own expense for jewelry classes and sewing lessons. And with the help of these lessons and by watching videos online, Jasmine is not only able to sew beautiful clothes, but by reading magazines, she has taught herself how to make some beautiful jewelry, some of which I have on today. I've displayed in the back of the room for you to look at your own leisure. She has an amazing gift that I believe, that I know, could be so much more advanced if she was provided with a person-centered plan and allowed into the Fashion Design Academy starting in the 9th grade of her high school year. We would like for you, our elected officials, to know that our children only want to be provided with the same opportunities as every other child within the school system. Their talents far exceed breaking down boxes at Domino's Pizza, folding napkins around silverware, loading and emptying dishwashers. And I hope by the demonstration that I brought, you could see that my daughter's talents far exceed her being a janitor. An opportunity of trial and error is what we ask for, because we, as parents, show our children and let our children know that it's okay to try anything, and it's also okay to fail at it. But what they need from the school system is an opportunity. It has been proven that person-centered plans have worked when properly used. Our children, again, are just like every other child. They have dreams, goals, and aspirations for a bright future. We as parents would like for our children to be seen as equals to their peers. We would like for them to be seen for their abilities and not their disabilities. We would like for them to be afforded an opportunity to attend college after high school or learn a trade during high school that would allow them to be more marketable in the work environment. In closing, what we are asking of you is to create and pass a bill that would mandate a policy that enforces person-centered plans as mandatory for every individual with a disability. A plan that will provide them the opportunity to do as Senator Bob Dole requested, to develop and contribute to their fullest capacity. Again, thank you for your time today.